Hi, today I'm going to talk about traveling. More specifically about the difference between traveling in a group and traveling alone. Um, this last 6 or 7 months as I moved to this new city, I've joined a few clubs. I've joined a hiking club. I've joined a skiing club. So I've done a lot more trips this year with groups of people versus just doing them on my own. This weekend I went out snowshoeing with a few people. This group I actually found on a website called Meetup, which might actually be good for some INFPs if you're looking to meet people who are interested in similar sorts of things for you. So, I responded to the site, talked about snowshoeing in Lake Louise, and responded and then set it up and took off with somebody I'd never met before. We went down to Calgary and met up with a couple more guys and then eventually made it out to Lake Louise. And I'll have to say, it was a pretty good time. They weren't bad guys at all. And this is something, I wouldn't have never tried a few years ago, just randomly meeting up with people and going out on trips. But, we had some really good laughs, especially at the hostel and everything. And it was a good drive down. So yeah, it wasn't too bad actually. But, you know, uh, part of me still misses traveling alone. Like I went upstairs and to the common lounge or area, whatever you want to call it, and I saw some people, on their own reading their books and playing on their laptops, and I'd yeah, for some strange reason, I didn't bring a book this time, so that was kind of weird. Uh, and I looked at them, and and I was kind of envious that they, were sitting there reading alone, or possibly traveling alone. I don't know if they were. Maybe they're just alone at that moment, but part of me just missed misses that traveling alone and going out on trips or hiking or skiing and being able to solve all the world's problems on a ski trip or on a hiking trip, or just being able to hear that silence of the bush or the wilderness, and not having to be on anybody's schedule but my own. I tend to find I'm usually an earlier riser than most. I go to bed early, but I get up early as well. So yeah, a lot of times I'm up and ready to go, pretty early, and it's nice to be able to just do a trip and be able to hike as ski as far as you want, and you come back exactly when you want, and everything, and too, just for getting back to work, so I work this week. I've got a meeting tonight with a different club, and it just feels like I haven't had any alone time at all. Like time to recharge the batteries and everything. So that's kind of a bit of a challenge as well too. Um, so yeah, I don't know, being INFP, we're introverted, and the extroverts. And I was talking with a friend about sometimes I feel sorry for the extroverts. It seems like they always got to travel around in large groups of people and everything. I was thinking like talking with one friend about these bike clubs, motorcycle clubs. I don't mean like Hell's Angels or necessarily or like illegal motorcycle gangs, but just these groups, and they travel all together in a group, 30, 40 bikes or whatever. And to me, I think that would drive me crazy. The one thing I do notice when I do hike or ski with groups is it becomes more about the group sometimes than about the actual event itself. But some of the upsides are that like I did one hike up Mount Rundle, which in the summer I never would have done on my own. I would have chickened out. So that part of it is that part of it's good. But yeah, so sometimes I feel sorry for the extroverts. Yeah, you know, I think they don't like being alone sometimes and can't handle that. But for me as an INFP, sometimes when I'm alone, I have the best company. I can retreat back to my mind or just relax or be me. And like the one time a few summers ago, hiking out on a trail in one of the provincial parks and just picking up a stick and pretending I'm Aragorn from Lord of the Rings and swishing the stick around and having like a sword fight and everything, and and just being able to have that fun, to be innocent, you know, and so yeah, so that's huge. Um, I think that's one of the gifts of being an INFP. You know, we have that innocence or that childlikeness to us that we don't lose, and I think it's a real gift and it's precious. Much as a lot of the rest of the world wants to kill that part of us, but no, I think it's truly a gift, and we should be grateful for it. And I wonder sometimes, about joining these clubs. What's my real intent? Is it to just meet people, or is it? I think sometimes, it's more to like try find a girlfriend and everything, hoping maybe I'll find somebody that have similar interests and everything through the club. So yeah, I don't think it really bothers me so much to travel alone. Maybe more my purpose in these clubs is actually to try meet someone. I don't know if that's really what they're designed to do. Well, probably not, but I guess you never know what can happen sometime. I guess yeah, more of that relationship stuff could be stuff for a different video. So yeah, so INFPs, I don't know if you guys are like me, if you like traveling alone as well, or if you're looking to meet some people, maybe try that site meetup. And yeah, so peace and respect, everybody, and we'll talk to you later.